guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you. You're good.
All right. Cool. Got you
Turn
on
the game on the microphone here just in case. So it's guaranteed to pick everything up.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
This man stuck his fucking phone next to his ass to do that. Jesus.
Literally not even. I just fucking turned. That just came out of me.
We'll put it back in. Jesus Christ.
We had like a Friendsgiving potluck at work last night, and I had way too much fucking ham and gravy.
Oh, fuck. That sounded a little too wet. You may need to check your drawers on that one.
It was dry.
Make sure a little...
It was a
fucking gravy didn't slip out. Jesus.
Should that be the cold open?
Right? Man just ripping ass. Fucking. I had too much ham and gravy.
Okay, Max, we need a cold open. Say something funny.
What slur do I want to go with? No, I'm joking.
Yes, Monkey Man, dance for us.
Let's see. Fuck, I don't even know. I'm not good at this. I'm not the one that has a podcast. It's you motherfuckers.
See, Slacker's pulling overtime. He's trying to pretend and keep the facade up that he still has a twin brother, when in reality, he ate him in the womb.
Actually, it's almost the opposite happened. I was barely 2 pounds when I was born. He was 5.5.
4.5.
Yeah, that's all dick, though. Good for him. He popped out of the womb. The nurses were like, God damn.
I don't, can we... I don't feel comfortable talking about this.
It's all right. You're amongst friends with the belly button innie. It's all good. Oh, that's the cold open.
So,
do you guys think that Tarzan was a virgin when he met Jane?
Fuck no. Fuck no. You know he was clapping gorilla cheeks.
Yep. Vine wasn't the only thing he was swinging.
Man, no kidding. He was swinging that
video. Have you guys seen the video of the 3 fucking gorillas just walking like NPCs around a fucking corner of a building like they just finished a drug deal?
Yeah.
No,
probably one of my
like
videos ever.
Like their backs stood up straight and their fists like at their sides.
Yeah. Gorillas.
They walk like middle. Yeah,
they just
walk
do
like
shit. They're like toddlers. They just walk around and do whatever the fuck they want. Except they walk like a fucking car.
They would walk like middle school boys trying to hide a boner.
Oh shit! Ain't that the fucking truth?
So, guys, tell me a little bit about this wonderful audio experience that you guys have started.
So I guess I'll introduce. Welcome to episode 5 of the Masturbator Cast. Me and Bas have taken an executive decision that every 5 episodes, I think, right, is what we agreed on?
Yeah.
Every 5 episodes, we're going to have a guest on here. And the golden ticket this time was pulled by Max. So, Max, feel free to introduce yourself.
I'm Max.
Okay.
Nice to meet you, Max. Welcome to AA. We don't talk about what happens here in AA. That's the first rule.
Assholes Anonymous.
Yeah.
Anal Olympics Anonymous.
Hey. That was between me and you.
We swear to take the girth, the whole girth, and nothing but the girth.
So help us God.
I think that's what the gorillas said to Tarzan, too.
Probably.
Yeah,
I mean, you saw how he gripped that vine with his ass while holding Jane in his arms.
That was so wild when I saw that frame, and it's like, did nobody proofread that, or
no? I think everybody had to approve that one. All the animators in the studio were probably chimping out themselves when they saw that.
To be completely honest,
way too geeked out on coke, listening to Phil Collins songs to care. They're just like, end it.
To be completely honest,
the
Disney has
that I've read about animation studios in the 80s and 90s is insane.
I was gonna say Disney has a reputation for that shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh hey, did you see the castle in the Little Mermaid? Look at the dick.
Yeah. And when the priest has a boner when he's officiating him.
I mean, to be
All I'm
completely
saying is-
fair,
I think Disney was the first furries because they did not need to give Nala bedroom eyes like that.
Yeah.
yeah, that one I remember seeing was a little weird. I remember having a conversation with my father about that one. Why is she looking at him like this? Go to your room.
The Nala from Lion King to Judy Hopps pipeline is absolute.
Bro, did you guys hear about that? This guy
What?
got involved in a lawsuit with is Disney the studio that made Zootopia? I think so, right?
I have no
I
idea.
think it was
it's
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks.
I
Okay.
think it was DreamWorks. Yeah.
So it was one of those studios, but all I remember is there was this case where this guy was like doing like thirst tweets over Judy Hopps. This happened like last week, by the way, as of recording this. Like he was doing like thirst tweets over Judy Hopps on Twitter and posting like, like not safe for work for yard over. Got sued by I guess DreamWorks. They were in court and they finally decided to settle on like to end the case, and he had to get a vasectomy.
Wow.
Said he wouldn't accidentally fuck a cartoon rabbit.
Wait a minute.
There's
wait
no
a
way-
minute.
there's
Wait a
no way
minute.
this is
That
real.
sounds
Dude,
like
look it up.
I've been seeing something like that. It said Disney though, so maybe Disney does do Zootopia because the people are like, dude, Disney is getting this motherfucker a
because only Disney
vasectomy.
would make a guy snip himself for thirsting over a cartoon rabbit. I don't think that DreamWorks would stoop that low.
I don't know. All I know is, I mean, you're fucking forcing somebody to. I mean, they settled, so he had to agree to it.
Yeah,
but you're still. I mean,
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know if it's legit, or if it's just one of those fucking stories on the internet. But if it is true, I mean, the fact that they can go to court and have you, or have the opportunity to have you, get a vasectomy so that you don't fuck a cartoon rabbit. How the fuck are you gonna fuck a cartoon rabbit? I mean, there has to be more to this than just that. Like, did he have real rabbits in his possession? I mean,
if it was something like that, then I would understand it.
Well, then it would go to a criminal case, I would think, because that's animal abuse.
I want you guys to imagine the world we'd be living in if Chris Chan got obsessed with Disney shit instead of Sonic.
Oh God!
The court case recordings that would happen.
I mean,
Nick Wilde is right beside me right now, but don't worry, I'll make sure he doesn't hurt you.
Would he have still fucked his mom?
Dude, that was the wildest shit. It's one of those things where, like, if someone just told it to you, you would think they completely made it up. Like, there's no way that actually happened, and that it's that prominent in like internet culture. And then you find out it's all real, and it's worse than you could even imagine. And you're like, this is a real human that exists, and they're in prison right now.
Yeah. I mean, my reaction would be the same one as the cops had when they found out he was actually famous.
Dude,
I'm about to realize how little
body cam footage is so ridiculous. Like, the Christian's having a full like psychotic episode, imagining people in the room and telling them to punch the cops harder, and the cops just have to pretend like they're not in the room with a fucking psychopath.
Right.
Okay. So I'm about to reveal how little journalistic integrity I have. I found that out about that Zootopia story through TikTok. I just assumed it was real. I'm looking. I can't find an article, but I am finding a bunch of TikTok saying it's real. So either this was like a TikTok rumor mill thing, or like the article already got deleted.
To be fair, like, I'll believe anything when it comes to like how harsh corporations and shit are with doling out unreasonable punishment.
Yeah. So I'm not going to say anything definitive because I mean, I don't think Disney would go. Well, no, it's Disney. They would totally go after a channel with less than 100 views for spreading, slander or not slander. But I will err on the side of caution and say it's possibly a rumor, but I can't find anything like an article or anything. So maybe
if we were talking about a Nintendo IP, I would 100% believe it, even if there was facts to prove that it was not true.
Yep.
Because Nintendo is even more ruthless than Disney with their shit.
Yeah, Nintendo.
If you violate Nintendo service
shit.
If you violate the Nintendo terms of service, Reggie from Nintendo America will break into your room with a baseball bat dressed as a purple Pikmin.
Yeah, and steal your
Fucking
kidneys.
Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nintendo don't fuck around. They go hard. And then they'll sue companies that, you know, are just similar to theirs and say, oh, it's IP infringement after the fact that they've...
the whole Power World thing?
Yeah. I played Power
Well,
World. That
to be
shit's
fair,
fun.
there are some designs of Power World that are literally like drop and trace designs of Pokemon.
Sure. But I think what they're trying to argue is the capture system because, you know, I think that's where they're trying to say it's like, oh, IP infringement. You're using
that's collectibles, so they're trying to claim collectibles as their IP.
Yeah, and it's just like you can't do that because I've seen a few people, you know, say like there's no merit to the case.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there would be more merit if they said like, hey, this creature looks exactly like this creature, but they can't because their creatures were stolen from Dragon Quest. Yeah. So they couldn't do that because then that argument would be brought and they would lose. So they're trying to say, I think it's the capture system, which who was it? It was that Lord of the Rings game where it had the Nemesis system. Like you can trademark systems.
Was that War of the Fallen or whatever? Lords of the Fallen?
Oh,
no,
I don't know.
That wasn't.
I don't know. It's like Lord of the Rings something or other.
I'm thinking of a different game. Sorry, but I know.
Yeah, there's a Nemesis.
Shadow of Mordor?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And there's a Nemesis system, and they have that system trademarked, which you can do that if it's a specific system. You could trademark it, but
such a good game too.
But you can't trademark things like, oh well, we've trademarked third person, we've trademarked first person, we've trademarked a collecting system. You know, you can't do that shit because it's just like, okay, so anything that has to do with collecting, they can't do. Like no one else can do unless they give you or get written permission. Like, no, you don't get to do that. And that's a scary fucking world in video games.
Yeah.
When you've got trademarks of systems that are so broad.
While we're on the topic of Nintendo, I just want to talk about, we're on agreement that it's no coincidence that they hired one of their the president of Nintendo America. They made sure pretty much to find a guy with the last name Bowser to be their fucking president.
Yeah, I think that was a marketing move.
Had to be because that doesn't just happen. What was his last name before? And is it actually?
I think his name was always Bowser.
Was it? Okay.
Baz. I don't think that. I don't think he changed his name to work at Nintendo. They probably just found a guy that had the credentials they were looking for, and then also saw that his name was Bowser, and they were like, "Get him right now."
Could be. But yeah, strange time we live in when it comes to video game companies like Ubisoft. Here's a what did they say? A quadruple A game for $70, and it failed.
Yeah.
You should get used to not
what's
owning
starting to
the
piss
games.
me off now is that every single game that releases has like a gold edition, a premium edition, and an ultimate edition. And it's like, oh, cool. So now you're going to try and make me pay $150 for stuff that should have been in the base game.
Yeah. Here's some extra skins. Or who was it? What was that? I think it was with the Star Wars game. You could, if you bought like the super duper premium edition,
you started off like all the heroes or something like that.
Well, you could play it for like I think it was like a week or two before everyone else, but then when everybody else got it, all your progress got fucking deleted.
Yeah, so it fucked everyone across the board.
Yeah, and it's just like, congratulations, you played yourself. Like, why would you spend that kind of money on something like that's beyond me?
Yeah.
So
right. Should we get into topics?
Do you guys, how does this work? Do you guys have like topics, or do we just ramble? Or
we have different like corners of the podcast.
Okay.
So we have like we have like a corner dedicated to like a topic that everyone brings. Well, up to this point, it's just been me and Bas, but a topic that everyone brings, and then I have a corner where I talk about, or I let people do stories based off of like D&D stats, and I can get into that a little later. We don't have to explain it right now. And then I have like a music recommendation corner. Yeah, so we have a lot of stuff that we can do. We don't have to do all of it if we run out of time, but you know, if this podcast runs like 2 or 3 hours somehow, we can split it up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've done that before, but maybe we can give it a try.
Well, and the podcast is usually about an hour and a half to 2 hours long.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, like I was gonna. I know Slacker brought in a topic that he wanted to talk about, which was what was it? It was dice.
Yeah. So the pros and cons of metal dice versus acrylic dice. And I want to know your guys' opinions on which ones you prefer, like maybe what some of your favorite sets are. So I don't know how much time that'll take up. That seems like it's something that we can go over in like 10-ish minutes. So maybe it'd be a good one to roll into first.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, fucking, I tell you, if you're debating whether I'm getting acrylic or metallic dice, fucking get metallic dice. Save up some money and get some metallic dice, because
I would say if it's your first set of dice, get some acrylic dice. They're cheap.
Oh,
they're
100%.
fun. They go clickety clack.
But you're gonna run into some issues with those acrylics, because that's one thing I do hate is how expensive D&D is to get into. Well, especially when you're a first timer. It is definitely gate kept behind a very pricey wall, depending on your situation. Like, I mean, you can make it by with just the player's handbook, the Dungeon Master's Guide, and the monster manual. You may not even need the monster manual. You can make it by with just those 2 books, the DM's Guide and the player handbook. And even those are relatively expensive if you're not in a position to where you can afford the $35 to $50 price tag that comes with it.
I will do what might be a controversial take here, but I will say if you really, really want to play a tabletop RPG, it doesn't necessarily have to be in D&D, but I've always held to the ideology that if you can play a game on tabletop, you don't need books, you don't need dice. You could use like napkins to write on and like quarters for like the quote unquote dice rolling mechanic. If you have a narrative story that you can tell between a player and a dungeon master and some instrument of luck to decide whether you pass or fail, you can basically play D&D. It's not going to be as involved. There's not going to be there might be certain stats or that you can't do, or certain like success rates that you can't do because of whatever instrumental luck you have or don't have. Your DM might not be using, official monsters, whatever. They might be pulling everything out of his ass. But at the end of the day, if you're having fun and the means that you have to play D&D or a tabletop RPG doesn't hinder the fun, then you're basically playing D&D.
Well, and even then, you still need to spend about $40 on that type of a game too, because I mean, you're going to need some strong psychedelics to really feel that. So, I mean,
maybe, but I have played D&D before, literally at a table in a diner with pen, napkins, and a quarter that I had in my pocket. So it's possible.
I'd be embarrassed.
It's just,
I ain't even gonna lie.
Hey, man,
I'd be embarrassed.
I didn't really have a lot of friends growing up. Not much embarrasses me anymore.
Yeah, I get embarrassed very easily. So like if we were sitting at a diner and you were like, bro, let's run some D&D, I'd be like, nah, I'm good.
Oh, I wouldn't do that now, but like I did it when I was like 18,
Damn. That's still an adult,
play
bro.
it off too, like you're cool, like not that you don't want to play because you're embarrassed. You're like, I'm not a fucking nerd.
I ain't no fucking nerd. What the fuck? Start beating your friend's ass just to keep some kind of street cred. Throw him through the window. Do you believe what that fucking nerd just asked me? Wanted to ask me if I wanted to play some fucking Dungeons and Dragoons or whatever.
And then the Denny's waitress is like, "Oh my god, you're so cool.
Her
Here's
lips,
a free side of gravy."
her vagina lips are clapping. Oh my god, take me now. And you're just like,
her
yeah.
Her maiden meatus is clapping.
Yes. And you
I'll take things I wish I never heard for 500, please.
Hell yeah. And then you get to be Patrick Bateman from what was that? American Psycho. And just flex in the mirror while just banging some bitch.
Bet to dice though.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
5 2 cents. Here's what I'll say. I have a set of metal dice that I bought at just a local shop out here, and it's nice. You know, it's a little bit expensive. It's like $45 for the set.
Oof.
They're nice, and you know, when I'm like set up at a table, really into a character or something, I'll use them. But I'll also say there's nothing like the feeling of having a giant jar full of acrylic dice and just sliding your hand into it.
Oh God.
It's been well documented on the podcast that I am a dice goblin. I have on my shelf in front of me right now, I have like a big ass like plastic beef jerky tin that's filled to the brim with dice.
And it's called the Dice Goblin Pocket Pussy.
Yeah.
Hands aren't the only thing that gets slid into that fucking thing.
Yep.
Christ.
Exactly.
It's my you have no idea how it feels to slide your hand. Like it became the most sexual. I popped wood. I ain't even gonna lie. No homo.
It's the D and Dussy.
The D and Dussy.
You're balls deep in your dice jar, and you're like, all right, roll for girth.
None of you can roll. Perfect.
Roll for intimacy. But yeah, like a quick rundown for anyone who is just getting into D&D and, you know, doesn't know what kind of dice to buy. Here's the pros and cons that I've kind of noticed over my years of collecting dice and playing D&D. The pros of acrylic dice is, relatively speaking, they're cheap. They're lightweight, so they won't damage any table that you roll them on if you don't have a dice rolling tray. It's pretty easy to find like variations in shapes, so there's a lot of customizability. It's very easy to get what you want comparatively with acrylic dice rather than metallic dice because they're very highly customizable. Impressions are really fun. Impressions are basically the little items that go in the center of the acrylic dice, so where you can see them through the dice. Like I have a pair of acrylic dice with little ducks in them, and I have one with beholder eyes or like creature eyes, something like that in them. They're really cool. I even have a pair of tungsten dice.
I bet you that
the cons
D3
is
fucking
that
hurts when you step on it.
D3 and D4.
Yeah.
It's a D4. He's a fake DM. He doesn't know the dice. Fake DM.
I was trying to think of it. I was like, oh, it's a triangle. It's a pyramid. I mean, it only has 3 fucking sides. But then I realized, yeah, it has the number 4 on. I'm not looking at my dice. My fucking bad.
4 points, dingus.
Yeah.
This is where you find out Bas is like a Google AI, and he's just like trying to save face.
Right.
He's the most robust Google AI that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. A lot of the stuff that we say and during the campaign sounds like the shit from the AI Google rip that's like always just the first page of Reddit on the topic. Just like the most ridiculous shit always.
Yeah, wasn't there one that was saying like if you accidentally eat paint, you can drink paint thinner to reverse it or something like that?
Whoa.
Yeah, it's just shit like that from Reddit that I think they fixed it for the most part now, but I know there's still some goofy ones that you get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't tell you guys to eat paint thinner.
The cons of acrylic dice is, I mean, relatively speaking, they're pretty easy to break. I have broken a few dice from just rolling them on surfaces that are, you know, too hard, or, you know, shooting them into the corners of my dice tray and they might break.
Jesus.
Generally the numbers are painted in, so they'll chip and the paint will wear away over time. I will say acrylic D4s are impossible to pick up, but you can use them as caltrops if anyone ever breaks into your home, because they are not going anywhere if they step on one of those things.
Nope.
Can I just ask real quick?
Yeah.
How fucking hard are you yeeting your dice into your
Yeah.
tray to where you're
dude.
shipping them?
I shoot them like I'm fucking playing, like I'm fucking playing,
Craps.
like space, yeah, craps, or like, yeah, I shoot them into the corner of my little dice tray. I fucking yeet them.
He's like, I shoot them in the corner of my dice tray like I shoot a load of nut. Quick and hard, motherfucker.
Well, that's if I don't want my dice to go flying, I'll just come in every single corner of my dice tray so for some extra grip.
I'm bringing my own dice tray next time we play in person.
Shit.
Pros and cons of metal dice. Metal dice, they're obviously very pretty to look at. They have some prestige to them. They have really good a really good tactile sensation, but in a different way. That's the autism in me talking. You can get reflective metal dice, which I find really cool. Cons is that sometimes the lettering is harder to read. Like, yeah, it's machined, but especially since metal dice are considered like very elegant, sometimes they'll have like that really thin, like fucking Calibri looking font on them, and the numbers sometimes you can't read them from certain angles, especially if they have some reflectiveness to them. They're very sharp, so if you have like, you know, little soft child hands, they might hurt your hands. And they'll absolutely destroy anything that you roll them on that isn't like a felt padded dice tray. I have so many dents and chips out of one certain area on my desk from rolling metal dice. Oh yeah, and the price also. They are. I've seen metal dice sets run for as much as like $150.
Yeah.
I haven't been stupid enough to buy one that expensive, but there are people that do.
I tell you, man. I tell you, fucking I have 2 sets of acrylic dice, and they came with the what do they call, like the starter kits. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they suck. And then I found out that you could fucking because they're mass produced. I mean, there's not really much care that goes into it to give you a properly balanced dice or die.
Right. Well, yeah, and they're, a lot of them are cast poured, right? So they're not like you said, they're not balanced super well.
Yeah,
you might have like bubbles or pockets of space in them that makes them not roll reliably.
Yeah, and that's my thing is you know, when you first get into it, sure, it's, you know, it's a very cheap alternative depending on where you go, because I tell you, I'm a big fan of supporting your local game shops. However, I am not a fan of the price increase that they slap on their shit. Because I tell you, man, the markup is just. I went to this one local game shop and I bought a set of dice for a buddy of mine because she ain't got no dice. And this motherfucker, it was just pink with some glitter in it. I was like, that's girly enough. Fucking $35 for a set of acrylic dice. $35. And I was just like, all right, whatever. It's not that big of a fucking deal. And that's, of course, after tax. And I paid it. Great. They're just the same fucking dice I got from the starter set. Acrylic, cheaply made, mass produced. But it's just that price tag is, you know, the Jew in me was just like, what are you doing? You know, and it's just like, God damn, you know, for a set of fucking
something
dice.
Stinks in this game shop, and it's not the Gavildi in my back pocket.
Yeah, no kidding. It's not the fat kid that's sitting there looking like he hasn't showered in 3 years. It's these prices. So, you know, the price tag that comes with your local game store, sometimes they've got some good deals, other times not so much. Like the little mini figurines that you could get for tabletop. They were mass printing those things. They had 3 3D printers going. And I looked at some of their, you know, miniatures, and their I guess their random box was about $40, and you get, I think it's, I want to say it was like 120 little just random assortments of figures. It's just like, okay, you're mass printing these things. Like, I've got a 3D printer. I know how much the resin is. I know how much it costs to get an STL file. For that price, Jesus Christ. I mean, you could keep your shit running for, 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Just off of one person buying it. It's like, fuck, man, the markup is ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, like 4 years ago, 3D printers were pretty expensive, but now you can get a good 3D printer, like a decent one, for like $120.
Yeah. Yeah. I bought mine on sale.
Well, speaking of, that brings up another, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but aren't there some companies doing the 3D printed dice now that they have the higher quality, like media, like resin,
I'm
media?
Sure there are.
So there is, but there's a problem that comes with that. And I was going to mention that is when you 3D print like with liquid resin, it does layers. And if one of those layers are faulty, so when you make dice, one of those layers is faulty, you could throw your dice and literally bust it in half. Mm-hmm. Even if it's good fucking quality resin, if that light doesn't cure it proper, even one fucking layer, it's cracking in half. But it's just one of those things where it's just like, if it's cost efficient to just get yourself a set of acrylic dice, that's fine. The metal dice I got, $20. Mm-hmm. And that was I think it was like copper. It was like a brushed copper or some bullshit. I enjoy them. I like the way they feel, and yeah, they will cut your fucking desk up. But then you start looking into shit like dice trays. Well, I heard Wormwood was pretty good, so I was just like, well, let me check them out. So I'd check them out, and I did not like that price tag that came with their dice trays. I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, Wormwood is expensive, but if you have the money for it, I guess they're decent. I've heard pretty good things.
Well, yeah, I've heard good things too. However, the Jew in me was just like, it's just balsa wood. So I ended
Wormwood basically like the Gucci of tabletop gaming. It's like,
kind of.
They've got some nice stuff, and I'm not going to sit here and say that they don't. They got some very beautifully crafted, products. Mm-hmm. However,
they're the ones that have like the really intricate, crazy like tables and stuff, right?
Yeah. They got those ones where it's just like, look at this key. You were going to see this key only once, and you were going to see 10 different keys during the process of me opening up this table. Cool concept, too much fucking work.
That's one of those things that I would get, like, where they say, like, oh, if I won the lottery, I wouldn't tell anybody, but there'd be signs. I'd have a crazy intricate table like that I would never use, but I just would have it because I thought it looked cool. Right? They do look cool, but at some point it's kind of ridiculous the amount.
I've seen ones that are custom made for like a DM or something will like custom make them for his groups, and they have like cup holders and they have like secret compartments for dice for each player. Like that's the type of shit that I would have if I won the lottery.
I tell you, I seen one table. This guy crafted the table himself, and he had a big screen TV in the center where he could put the battle maps and shit. If he wanted to, he could also put like actual 3D models and shit onto the screen itself. Beautiful concept, awesome, look cool. Is very simplistic. It had cup holders. Which, I'm sorry, if you can't hold your own fucking cup or put it on the table, what the fuck is the point? But yeah, it was a cool concept. I was like, that's cool. But yeah, Wormwood is expensive. If you got the money and you want to kind of, show off to people that you have money, yeah, Wormwood's the way to go. I ended up getting 2 dice trays. They're felt and faux leather for, I think it was like $2. And I'm happy with it. I still use them. It's just
are these like those collapsible like faux leather?
Yeah, they just
those are good.
Out.
I like those.
Yeah, me too. And honestly, it was a cheap alternative. to, you know, get in, because some of these dice trays, man, holy shit, not even just Wormwood, because I bought most of my shit, and I still do, off of Amazon, because my local game store is expensive, and it's not even justifiably expensive. It is just expensive. I mean, their player's handbook fucking cost 70, what was it, 75? I think it was $75 pre-tax. Pre-tax. I was like, oh, fuck this. I can get it off of fucking Amazon for 25, 30 bucks.
Is your local game store run by fucking Montgomery Burns?
No, I think my local game store is ran by people who think it's cool to upcharge that fucking much. However, that is their right. They have all the right in the world to charge however much they want for, you know, the products that they're selling. That's up to them. You must
be in an area where there's not a lot of game stores.
Yeah, we only got the one.
Okay, well, then, yeah, I mean,
blind demand. Kind of tied at that point. You just kind of got to take what you can get.
Well, and then you got the alternatives, like Target sells D&D stuff. I think Walmart does as well. And their stuff is roughly the same price as you'd see on the back of the book, where it says, you know, hey, this is what the book costs. Amazon, of course. But yeah, like, I'm a big fan of supporting your local game store if they're not pieces of shit upcharging, you know, twice or 3 times the fucking price. Because then it's like, okay, you're giving me an alternative. Like, I'll pay $20 extra. Don't mind that. However, I'm not going to pay fucking $50, $60 extra. Like, that's you're just ripping me off. And then you need to support your local game stores. We're dying out. I can't, because if I do, I'm taking out of fucking bill money at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why you always like to fly the black flag and ride those seas.
I mean, it could be worse. You could be a Warhammer enthusiast.
Oh boy, dude, don't even get me started. Holy shit. Warhammer enthusiasts, I mean, god damn.
Y'all are like an entirely different breed. I'm not going to talk any shit. All I'm going to say is...
No, you don't talk shit about them, because their fucking models are expensive. Games Workshop is expensive.
But when they're painted, they are beautiful.
Oh, fuck, dude. Fuck, they are absolutely gorgeous.
You guys know how, like, a lot of people say, oh, if the economy crashes, gold is the one thing that will still hold value. That's true, but there's one other medium, and that is Warhammer 40K figures.
Yep.
Those things hold value. Like, I've seen ones that have gone through like 6 owners on Facebook Marketplace, and they're still selling them for like the market price or even above it if it's painted well, and people buy it. And there are some single figures that go for $200, $300.
Yeah, they must paint them a certain, like, they must be using witchcraft, because they'll paint them and I swear they won't chip. Warhammer players specifically, they paint their figs so well, they never chip, the paint never flakes off, and it always looks amazing.
Yeah, no, I got nothing but respect for those guys, because yeah, they take great care in what they got. Them and Gundam enthusiasts, Jesus Christ, them Gundam enthusiasts, man, they'll take some cheap $20 model of Gundam and fucking turn it into $1,000 product. It's like, holy shit.
Dude, I had a friend who was into Gundam, and he would build them all the time, and he built them so fast and so well. But he had this shelf that was just filled to the brim with built Gundams, and I would just remember thinking, I was like, if an earthquake happens and these fall out, I'm pretty sure this dude's gonna fucking have an aneurysm, because there's probably $8,000 sitting on that shelf right now.
Yeah. But I tell you, when I had enough money, because when I did all this purchasing of shit for D&D, you know, I of course had the cheap set of acrylics, and I hated them. I played a couple times with them, and they sucked. They sucked ass. I never rolled a natural 20 because for some reason it would never hit 20, even if I sat there and rolled the damn thing for 10 minutes. But yeah, I also found out you could check the weight or check the balance of them with salt water. So I did that and found out, yeah, it tends to roll low constantly. So yeah, when I had enough money, I bought my metal dice, and they were cheap, but you know, I'm happy with them. It's hard to check the balance on metal because it all just sinks. Not enough salt in the world, but yeah, I'm happy with them. And yeah, you drop that D4 and you step on it, you're gonna fucking know it.
It'll pierce you to the bone, man.
Fucking no kidding.
Do the Tomcat scream.
Right?
Ah!
Yeah, whoa! I can't do it. I'm sick. But yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons to both. Because yeah, if you're rolling metal dice on anything but a tray, yeah, it's cutting into whatever it is. Do not roll metal dice on a glass table. If you don't understand why, you're a fucking idiot. Because I mean, come on, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Oh, especially if it's a pounder. If it's like a spherical D100.
Ooh.
I have one of those. It's like 4 pounds.
I have 2 of those. It's not metal, they're plastic. But I got 2 of those and I've never used them.
I mean, it's cool to have on my shelf and look at, but if I roll this thing on my table, it might put a hole in my table.
Dude, I remember seeing that thing when you first bought it, and I was just thinking, like, are you practicing for shot put or something? Because this thing is ridiculous.
It literally comes in a little bag with like a long ass drawstring that you can use like a fucking rope dart to spin around and just bludgeon people to death with.
Hell yeah. Fucking America right there. You want to see my D100? Just cave somebody's skull in. That was super effective. Shit, Nintendo's gonna come after me for saying super effective, like in their Pokemon games. Fuck.
Yeah, that's part of their system. You didn't know?
Yeah, I didn't know. I forgot.
Fun fact: lawyer type beats civilian type every time.
Yeah, no kidding. That's why every politician is a fucking lawyer.
But, you guys know that there is a law firm somewhere called Wigger Law Firm?
A what?
Yeah, Wigger Law Firm. I'm not even kidding. You can look it up on Google Images right now.
Wigger?
Yeah, Wigger.
Wow.
Wigger Law Firm.
Wow, that somehow skated past the last 10 fucking years.
It's the guy's legal last name.
Ah, yeah, well, still he'd get canceled for having that last name.
Yeah.
Wait, what color's his skin?
He's white.
Oh my god. I was looking for something that may have actually saved him.
I can't wait for Wally Wigger to be Saul Goodman's next mortal enemy.
Oh my god. That is fucking horrible, but the best. I tell you though, back on dice, metal dice, you guys seen those dice that are bullets that come in like a 6-shooter or 7-shooter cylinder?
I'm saving up to get one of those. They look really cool.
They look cool as fuck. I ain't even gonna lie, but the Jew in me was just like, why? Why get it? You have dice. I was like,
I also
damn.
like the I really like unique shape, like dice, like unconventionally shaped dice, like stuff that's like, I don't remember what they call it exactly, but it's almost like it looks like a dial, like several series of dials in like this platform that you just spin around, and each layer is each ring is a different die.
Yeah,
I think those are really cool.
Yeah, those do look cool.
And like the little tower ones that they have too, where you pull it up and it spins all the dice around inside of the bearing.
Yeah.
Those are super cool.
I like the D4s that are shaped like little potion bottles, since potion bottles are D4 healing.
Oh, okay. I've seen those.
Yeah. They're
Those are
also a lot
pretty
easier to
cool.
pick up than normal D4s.
Yeah, instead of trying to use your fingernails that are non-existent to try to grip the tip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I know what it feels like to be a hooker. Trying to grip the
Anyway,
tip,
yeah.
but I can't. But,
Yeah, that was my topic.
well, hang on. Let's not end your topic real quick. How do you feel about dice towers?
Oh, like the rolling towers?
Yeah. How do you feel about those?
I mean, for me, it's like they're fun once.
Okay, so it's not just me.
It's a gimmick for sure.
Yeah,
I get the appeal of it. I think it's a cool. There's nothing wrong with it. If you want to do dice towers, go for it. I think it's a good way to build suspense. Sometimes, if you're into that, in like if you're doing like in-person campaigns and you like adding suspense, or you just want to show off something cool that you found or whatever. I get it. I'm not talking trash on it, but for me, I like instant gratification. I don't like waiting 12 seconds to find out what I rolled.
I think it's cool for like I've seen the really big rolling towers where you can load like dozens of dice on at once. I think it's good for something like that. Like I feel like if I was a DM and I had like a big hitter, BBEG that I was dealing crazy damage for like one of his special, legendary actions or something, I'd pull out the tower, load it up with dice and slam it down, and that'd be a cool way, to do that. But it's for what they ask as far as price, it's not something I would ever buy unless I just had an abundance of extra money and I was just buying bullshit.
So
if a friend has it, I'll use it. Sure. I don't think I would buy one myself.
So I do think that you guys kind of bring up a good point. Max said that like if your bad guy, your BBEG is going to deliver a lot of damage, kind of using the big dice tower. I think
it's a good way to emphasize it.
I think the DM using one would make sense, because then it's just like you're okay, he's going to hit you with this attack, and I'm bringing out this dice tower to kind of build up that suspense amongst the players. Okay. All right. 100%. I'll give you that. But as a player with a dice tower, fuck you. Personally, just fuck you.
That seems pretty eccentric to me. Yeah.
Because it's just like, you're just trying to show off your money. That's all that is. I mean, Slacker may not want to throw shade at you, but me, I will. Fuck you. Fuck you for making me sit there and wait for you to roll. Because guess what? Now I'm gonna say your roll is null and void. No, I'm just kidding about that part, but it's gonna piss me off, because then it's just like, okay, you're using a gimmick to kind of take more focus on you. That's I don't know. I'm not a fan of that shit.
I think it's fine if in the same vein as, like I said, as like the DM.
Yes.
For special occasions. Let's say like, you have something like a I forget what the term is for it, but like your racial trait like attack or something like that, or your class trait attack that you can use once a day, or for like big moments, like you're using like a like if you're like an Asmar or something and you're taking your celestial form and you're attacking in that way, then another device or something that emphasizes or makes the role more theatrical, I think makes sense. I think there's just a way to go about it,
Back when
but I'm all
was
for like I was talking to Slacker about this a while back. They have these dice that's like, they call them like oblong dice. So it's a fuck, what is it? It's like
fall asleep when their parents are having sex.
Oh my god. That's a really niche joke, and if anybody understands that, they need to spend more time outside. But it's dice where like instead of like a D6, it's like a D5 and like a D7 and a D9. And I think that's like, as I was thinking as a DM, like when I would use that, if I like cursed, if somebody was afflicted with some sort of curse or ailment or something, or their rolls a way to affect the meta where when their rolls are penalized by something, you give them this dice and it's like you can't ever roll a crit or something, or you can't ever roll max damage, or max healing because of this affliction you have or something. Little stuff like that as a way to affect the actual lore in game with your above table actions to the players. I feel like it makes it feel more not more real, but it adds another layer of immersion into that the integration of the character and the player together. I think stuff like that is really cool. When you can use your physical devices to actually affect the story and have an effect, with the way things go in your campaign. And I think that there's a lot more products now, like recently in the past couple of years, that have put a focus on stuff like that. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I've seen some very cool in-person stuff that either are mass produced or people create themselves. I saw this one that was the money, the coins. This DM was writing out on Reddit, I believe it was, that he's a firm believer that if you can feel the money in your hand, you're not spending it so wildly. Because just on paper, like, oh, I'd like to buy this sword. Well, this sword costs 200 gold and that's all you have. Okay, yeah, I get it. But if you have it in your hand, you're gonna be like, ooh, okay, maybe I don't want this. And it's just like, I completely get that. I think that's cool as hell. This guy made his coins himself, which that takes a lot of fucking, a lot of patience, a lot of time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Also, it limits how much money you have in the world's economy, which that works too. But back when I used to watch these guys do D&D, on YouTube, there was one, and I'm spacing on his fucking name. He has a box of doom or something like that. And it was he always brings it out for like
Brennan Lee Mulligan.
I think that's his name. It wasn't Matt Mercer. Yeah. It was someone else, and I couldn't remember his fucking name. But he brings out a box of doom, and he's like, "This sounds like a box of doom roll." That, and it's just a fucking box. Or when I saw it was just a fucking box. I don't know what it is now, but yeah, they would throw a box, and there you go. And it's like that kind of hypes up the tension. But
oh yeah, for sure.
If everybody had a box
like
of doom,
that's like the extra stuff, extra accessories done right.
I remember one of the first campaigns that Slacker DM'd for us for me and our friends. He actually took a lot of he took a lot of money out of his own pocket, and he bought like leather bound, hand pulped journals for us, like hand pulped paper, and little leather pouches. And he had gems and coins and little potions and stuff. We had to put all that stuff. Obviously there was like items that he couldn't get, little minifigs for or whatever it was, little figurines for. But he said, these certain items, if I give them to you, if I hand them to you, they need to be in your bag. If you lose your bag, you don't have those items anymore. And it actually gave some gravity to, like, you had to make sure that you were paying attention and keeping track of everything. Yeah. And, I mean, if not all the players are on board with that, that's not cool of a DM to like enforce that. But he had a conversation with everybody beforehand and was like telling us the expectation and if we're cool with it. And we all said, yeah. And it actually did, like, I feel like it made everybody a lot more invested into everything they did. And it actually made it feel like anything we did, every potion we used, every single coin that we used, any items we used, it had consequence and it had gravity. And it actually made you care so much more about your characters and your party.
Oh, yeah. And
that was unfortunately that campaign didn't last very long because of scheduling conflict, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, and little things like that, can make a campaign or a session just that much more interesting. keeping track of your stuff. Yeah. Yeah, and then if you lose it in the real world, you lost it in game. That's
If
a
you
rough
die in
one.
the game, you die for real.
Yeah, get isekai'd for real. Holy shit.
Yep.
But no, I mean, yeah, that's pretty fucking cool. Yeah, but those dice towers, Jesus Christ. I tell you. But for DM, yeah. Oh,
I thought we'd only have like 10 or 15 minutes on this, but we've ripped on it for like over half an hour at this point.
Hey, that's the fun part about some of these topics that we bring. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
You know, it's I don't like feeling confined by like time. Like, you know, maybe there's something I want to talk to you about with the dice that's going to be more than 10 fucking minutes. I mean,
right.
You know, like it's one of those things that's the cool part about bringing topics.
I didn't want mine to take up too much time because I want you guys to be able to, you know, put your topics forward too.
Well, fuck you. I'm God in here, and we're talking about your fucking topic for more than 10 minutes. But no, yeah, it was a good topic.
Cool. I'm glad because excuse me, on the surface I was like talking about dice. I don't know if this will go anywhere, but maybe it's a good warm-up topic.
All right,
but
man, have some fucking
I'm
humility and quit sucking your own dick. Jesus Christ, it was a good topic. I swear.
Yeah, I'll break a wrist, jerk yourself off now.
Yeah, right? Fuck. I just got it right in the corner of my dice box.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
For what it's worth, I didn't bring any topics. I'm just happy to be here, so we're not going to need to spend
any time. You piece of shit!
Oh, cool, because I got a topic. I want to talk about your character, Graft.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I want you to tell me about your character. Because, Jesus Christ, if I don't hear about this character, Graft, then I'm going to lose my shit.
Well, I started out with the idea the character really is just like a stupid pun. I was like, since his skin's all fucked up because he's a ghoul and his whole body looks like he had just a bunch of skin grafted onto him, I'm going to name him Graft. And I was like, well, what's something that can make him like a little bit more unique than that? And then I started with, you know, his fashion sense and how we could realistically work it into the time period and the timeline with Fallout and stuff. So I like the idea of like this kind of punkish kid. But you know, then we talked about like, hey, was that even like historically accurate for the time? And then like, well, does it really matter? Can we make it work? I mean, it is technically like a historically alternate thing from reality, so we can do this and that. And then it turned into, what if he's just like a fucking druggy crust punk kid that's really edgy, and even though he's technically like 200 years old or something like that, he's still got like that teenage angst, and it makes him like kind of a bane to himself, but also in a way that is both good and bad at times. Like, I just thought it was cool. Like, yeah, he could be so drugged up that he could be a liability, but it also could make it to where he doesn't care about consequence. He doesn't feel really pain, or he doesn't care about what happens to him in moments where most people would kind of fold under some pressure or react a way that a normal person would, but maybe in a way that isn't conducive to, you know, coming out of the situation on top. So I thought that it was just a really cool dynamic. Like, essentially I just made like a tweaker crust punk kid. Like, but he's not super detached from reality. But it just started with like, I wanted to like inject that kind of aesthetic and fashion sense into a character and make it work. And then I just kind of built on that. And, you know, Bas, you and me kind of discussed like, oh, you know, since he's cool, we could have the connecting strand of him in the story. Like, okay, he knows Hancock, and Hancock's like this kind of father figure to him. I thought that was cool. And, you know, there's a lot more that, you know, as we go through the campaign, there's a lot more to his story that I want to make known, and that'll come with time. But what I can say for now is like, I hope that even though I feel like I don't really talk that much in our sessions, and I'm not really good at like animating my characters through my voice or whatever. It's something I'm working on, and I hope that as the campaign continues, anybody who's interested in Graft as a character will learn more about him and are excited to see what comes out of him. And hopefully he doesn't die too soon because, yeah, I think he's probably one of the most unique characters I've ever come up with as far as like his attitude and his personality. And I'm really excited to like kind of play that archetype of person in a party, because I usually play like either the goody two shoes or like just the dumb muscle comic relief, and Graft is kind of comic relief, but also I feel like he has more serious undertones, and he kind of can be like an asshole and not a bad guy, but like an anti-hero at times. And I think it's going to be fun to tap into that sort of character.
Well, and to be fair, I mean, your character not opening up immediately and just spilling their guts makes sense, because I mean, we had talked about your character, trying to figure out, because I mean, I've got the most of the Fallout timeline, you know, on one of the Discord servers I have, and yeah, I mean, when we found out that there was some like pre-punk, you know, stuff, not just in the games, but in the lore, it's like, okay, that works. We can definitely run with that. Your character being kind of edgy, you know, that's to be expected from you and your brother, because you guys love edgy characters for some fucking reason. But
got a lot of unresolved trauma, man.
Apparently. But no, fucking,
For what it's worth, my next character, like when we go back to a D&D setting, the character I have planned for that is going to be a stark difference from the edgy shit that Graft is doing. I don't want to give away too much, but I'm going to tap back into one of my favorite archetypes, which is Big Dumb Lug.
oh Jesus. I think those can be the best, but I will say this. Your character Graft is very interesting, because it's, you said that you're just kind of playing it as right now we don't know much, but the way you're playing it is kind of like your character's just keeping people at arm's length, you know, where you're just kind of like, all right, there you are. You did get attached to Runt, I'm assuming. You know, in the slightest fact, at least, that it was, all right, I'm working with these guys. Oh shit, I just saw someone get killed that I know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, your character keeping people at arm's length makes absolute sense. Your character having that like devil may care attitude, it makes sense. Because, you know, you're that angsty teen that just kind of hates everything and loves very few things. And that may change. That may change as your character kind of evolves. Because like we're seeing, you know, the party in just those few sessions has already evolved. You know, I'm not trying to give away too much as well, but I think we're going to see a lot more evolution with the characters as the campaign continues. And then yeah, I'm excited about your guys' characters in the D&D world. I mean, I know you don't want to give too much away, but your character intrigues me. I did want to ask you about him, but I mean, I get you not wanting to give away too much in the podcast. Click is very interesting. I've had to figure out stuff to get Click, you know, involved somehow, some way with the story. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you guys' characters are definitely a stark contrast to what I'm used to. And I'm excited.
When we get back, yeah, I am too. When we get back into the D&D campaign, it's going to be interesting for me because I'm purposely going in blind. Like I purposely haven't watched any of the prior sessions and I want it to be that way because I don't want to have any metagame knowledge, and I kind of want to see what it's like to experience it fully as a player who doesn't have any background context.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think that'll be. I think that'll help me kind of play my character more accurately anyway. Because if I know too much, it's going to be like, okay, well, how does this character who should not know this, like, I don't want to have any extra information that I don't need. So I think the best way for me to do that is to just not watch any of the previous stuff.
And that previous shit is hard to watch because, goddamn, not only was our audio terrible, our video quality when I would record with a little camera webcam, oh my god, the quality there was absolutely terrible because Jesus Christ. Oh man, I'm glad I paid the money to get that fucking virtual tabletop. Is holy fuck. And yeah, better audio quality.
I'm gonna step away just for a second. I'll be right back, you guys.
Oh, I was gonna say we could take a quick break if you'd like.
Oh, I'm just running to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Make sure to wipe.
Well, you want to hold it for me?
No, that wouldn't be much of a job. I could do that with my pinky, bro.
All right.
It's so massive.
Oh my god, your magnum thong.
Right? Your Wong Don. But yeah,
he's gonna go do some chicken frying.
Yeah, apparently. Fry some chicken. Make sure to hit the fucking center of the water so you get maximum fry. But yeah, no, fucking yeah, I'm really interested to see what Axel's gonna do. Because by the time this comes out, Axel should be introduced. No, Axel won't be introduced. That's right.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because it was part 2.
Yeah, it was part 2. Because goddamn.
Have we kind of explained like how we upload our sessions yet? Or I think people know to tell.
So what I try to do is lately it hasn't been working, but I try to get it uploaded the Monday after we record, depending on a few factors. So if we get it done on the weekend, it's going to be that Monday. If we get it done on Monday, it could be uploaded same day, depending on if there needs to be any editing. If it's just like we cut out our breaks, perfect. If there's more that needs to be edited, say, there's a topic where it's just like, don't really care that we discuss that. That'll get cut and I have to figure out where that is in the recording. But yeah, it may get uploaded same day. Very rarely. I don't even think I've done that. But then if it doesn't, it gets uploaded the Monday next at 3:30 p.m. California time. But yeah, so this coming Thursday, because today is Wednesday, so tomorrow, I really need to jump on this too. The first part of our last session will be uploaded with a new video that plays with Hummy Cans. Hummy Cans' image will be in there. Runt's has been removed because Runt has passed. He came down with a bad case of minigun holes.
A bad case of dying.
Yeah, bad case of death. He died of natural causes. When you get pumped full of bullets like that, you end up dying naturally.
I cast die at 9th level.
Right? I do have to get a picture of Axel, and I'll have to.
I'm in the process of that artist that I told you about. I'm commissioning her right now.
Okay.
So hopefully by the time the second part needs to go up, or needs to be edited down, I can get that to you.
Well, and I was gonna say I can kind of put because I can easily just get a AI generated thing of possibly someone that would fit the bill for a raider, not super descript, but would somewhat fit the bill. That way, at least there's something.
I don't know if I just like making all my characters fuckable men, but all my characters in D&D, most of my characters in D&D, like I have a feeling, I just have like a yearning to make them like conventionally attractive in some way.
Oh, this motherfucker ain't even conventionally attractive. Your character's description, I swear to God, comes straight from a fuck book that women buy at the airport or Target. Because Jesus Christ, this motherfucker said, yeah, you know, he's got long, messy hair and he's sweating and steam is rising off his body as his chest heaves up and down. And he has a beard that's somewhat long and, you know, it's stubble that's kind of long, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, man. Did you get that? I even asked him, I think in the original part, I think before we had to re-record because OBS decided to fuck me. I was like, did you get that from a fuck book? He was like, nah, man, that's all me.
That's my mind palace.
It's like,
It
Jesus
shows what really
Christ.
goes on in my thoughts.
He's like, as he lays there on the cool
Brown
bench,
eyes and his chiseled jaw,
surrounded by cold cement to internalize or externalize the cold interior of his heart. He lays there as his member throbs through his leather pants. It's like it has its own fucking pulse. Boom, boom, boom. It's like, Jesus Christ. But that shit was funny. Runt, on the other hand, was just a dad. He was just that Midwestern dad that everybody wants.
Yeah, he wasn't necessarily attractive, but for super mutant, he wasn't ugly looking.
Yeah,
probably helped that he had hair.
Balance sneakers were human or were a person.
Is what?
Huh?
What'd you say? I couldn't hear you. Cut out.
I said Runt was like if New Balance sneakers and cargo shorts were a person.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. He's like, hey there, slugger. I see you look like you're
Hey there, champ.
having a rough go at it. Why don't you sit a spell and let's talk about how the world's treating you. I know you ain't ever had a beer with your old man, but here you go, son. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Hate you. I will not have my lovable green dad slandered in this way.
What are you talking about, man? Hey, I didn't say he was drinking fucking IPA. I said beer. That could be anything. And your guy was a fucking plumber. You can't tell me that motherfucker don't drink fucking Pabst Blue Ribbon. Come here, son. Sit upon the dock with me and have a Pabst. So I hear you like taking pictures.
Why does he sound like RFK now?
No. That would be. Well, I just need to know, son. Where is your beer? And I did that while dying of sickness. I don't even know if it came through. If you guys even heard that.
Yeah, I know. I could hear it. That's impressive.
Fancy drinking a Runt is when they get carne asada strip steak from the supermarket and he has to pour Modelo on it to cook it properly.
Hell yeah. I got me some carne asada for dinner. Why don't you come over here and help me cook it, son? I could teach you a couple things.
If Runt had lived long enough to form bonds with everybody, he definitely would have done that with Graft. Taking him fishing and cooked with him.
Motherfucker, you realize that everybody felt that death. If I made bonds with people, Jesus Christ, you're just slutting yourself around at this point. If only I had made bonds. I know everybody was pretty tore up, about the death of my character, but if I'd only made a bond.
Please don't make it seem like I'm fucking flattering myself. I'm not.
I hear that wrist a flopping. Oh, fucking. Oh, that character was a good character. Yeah, he was the Midwestern father. You got Graft, the angsty teenager. You've got, let's see, Hummy Cans, the cuck. Oh my God.
I still don't think, did, I forget. Has Graft met any cans yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
Graft
just
got
bouncing
to hear Hummy Can's self-love to
Oh, yeah.
Oh yes, that's right.
yeah. Yeah, he got to hear that. And
Yeah, well, no, you haven't heard that session yet, but I told you about it. I think.
Yeah, that's what it was. You were telling me about it.
he kind of
Dude,
sounds
you're going to
real
laugh.
whiny, but then when
You're
he
gonna laugh
jacks
so
it,
hard. Dude, everybody in that call, I'm pretty sure, had their head in their hands trying not to fucking laugh over him.
dude, the first fucking time
The first
we were fucking, I was dying because this guy was reading a fucking letter from his ex-wife, and every few words you just hear him go fap 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 fap. He's like, me and Bocephus are really happy together. Fap 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 fap. We're so happy that you keep sending us money. Times are tough. Fap 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 fap. It's like, oh my god. He's over here beating off with a Dear John letter. And fucking then he comes out talking like Chad McChadson. She's like, all right, guys, you ready to go? Like, Jesus Christ.
He finishes his letter. He looks like Randy Marsh in the one episode of South Park with the internet.
Right? Comes out looking like that, but with a chiseled fucking jawline. I forget what they call that.
Giga Chad music playing behind him.
Yeah. And it's just like, what the fuck? This guy's leading the charge to go do some shit. And it's just like, all right. So it was fun because when he told me about the character, he was like, yeah, I kind of want to make a cuck, a beta cuck. I was like, all right, we can do that. And he goes, but my character will get more improved with when he jacks off. I was like, oh dear God. I was like, best we could do is half your fucking strength. And I forget what the other one was, but we half it when you haven't jacked off, and then you get to experience the full part when you finish up.
That kind of reminds me, Slacker made a little his own system for a game once, and we were playing it. It was like a zombie themed kind of game.
Yep.
We had this one character, this one guy that we played with. He wanted to make like a tweaker tinkerer. And his like, I guess, racial trait, if tweaker is a race, was when he was going through meth withdrawals, all of his stats were downgraded by like 2 or 3. But when he was on one, like all of his tinkering stats and stuff were boosted to the fucking sky.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Yeah, I
literally like Lego building sounds in the Lego video games.
Oh,
what
Jesus.
was his name? It was Uncle Fester, right?
Uncle Cooter.
Uncle Cooter. That's what it was.
No, I ended up making a fucking a cuck system with fucking Richie and not even realizing it. Like,
so funny.
I'd argue that his withdrawals are going to be worse than Axel's.
Right? He's just gonna say, "Oh, hey guys, my wife was a good woman. You she's gonna come back." That's what he keeps saying. She'll come back. You watch. She's only just seeing how it goes with this other guy whose initials are literally BBC.
Oh my God.
It's like Bocephus Birmingham, like Callahan or something like that.
It's like it's Bocephus something Caligula or
Caligula,
or it's a Bocephus Baccarat Caligula, I think.
Baccarat.
And fucking his wife's name, it is the initials I found out spelled Dom, D-O-M. So that shit killed me. I was like, what the fuck? And of course, when he was going into the mayor's office, he had to have the chair in the corner. Like, you see 2 chairs at the desk, and there's 1 chair in the corner. Fucking, oh my God, Aurelius jumped on that moment and said, I think that's your chair over there.
Dude, every session that passes, I'm loving Kieran more and more.
Oh yeah. And how all you guys just kind of don't call Hummy by his fucking name.
Yeah. Hyman.
Heimlich.
Hyman.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are just using to call him Hummy. Fuck. Over here fucking choking. God damn.
You feeling better or worse than our when we record during our session?
I tell you, I feel I would say about the same. The scientitis is gone. I mean, I finished up my antibiotics for that. So that's good. Let's see. I'm still coughing. Was spitting out, coughing up blood, I thought, but it was just from nose. So I was like, all right, cool.
Nose just too dried out?
No, it's just the sinuses.
You've been hitting the nose candy a little too hard, buddy?
Hell no. Hell no. I've seen what that shit does to people's sinuses. Fuck that. Fuck that. Ain't no good time worth that shit. Won't even be able to smell anything. You could be eating rancid pussy and you wouldn't even know it. Yeah, let that honestly, one sit and steep.
What I do whenever I have like a head cold is I take like 3 baby aspirin, and then I take like some Mucinex and just like some hot spiced cider or something. Basically, whenever I have a head cold, it's the end of the world. So I have to have a pharmacy floating around inside me to function normally. And Jesus. Also, Alka-Seltzer, funnily enough, will make you feel not shitty for like 30 minutes.
Man, I tell you, I haven't had like a cold or bronchitis in fucking years because, I was pretty good with my immune system. But when I took these, what was it called? It's not amoxicillin. It's I forget the fucking name, but it's like 850. That shit kicked my fucking ass because I was like, oh god, Augmentin. That's what it's called, Augmentin at 850, and the 500s were good because I mean, of course, took out the infection and I was okay. These 850s though, man, put me on my fucking ass.
Yeah.
Because, it killed my fucking immune system.
Yeah, you got to be careful with a lot of that stuff because it'll basically to attack what it needs to. It also needs to attack your immune system.
Yeah.
So if you need that and it's like the dead of winter, you're kind of fucked. Like you will definitely get really sick.
Well, I mean, I had this issue with the scientitis and my face swelling up last year about the same time, and oh my god. It got bad last year. I mean, dude, I looked like the dude that could have been considered Quasimodo's twin. This year, I just looked like Quasimodo's brother, but fucking hell. Like, that shit kicked my fucking ass. But, hey, I just got to build that immune system up again. Thank God I don't get the flu. God.
Me and Max used to get the flu every season when we were younger.
It was the same here. And it was because I was getting the flu shot. I hated that shit. And they were like, oh, well,
yeah, I haven't gotten the flu shot in like 4 years. I haven't gotten the flu.
Yeah, same here. I haven't gotten the flu shot since I was 17. And that was when
Welcome
I stopped.
to the Anti-Vax Podcast.
Right? That was when I stopped taking the fucking flu shot. Now, I will tell you this. I will tell you this. People are thinking that we're sitting here being anti-vax. We're not. We're just saying that we don't like taking the flu shots. If you're susceptible to getting the flu, definitely get a flu shot because it's just a half-dead fucking strain. Unless you go back a few fucking years when they were injecting people with living strains of the flu. Yeah. That's, we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about Bruno.
Right? But yeah, no, ever since I was 17, I never got the flu.
Well, I mean, hearing how often you get sinusitis, probably a good thing. Otherwise, it'd probably be a death sentence for you.
Well, sinusitis, it just started last year. That was the first time I ever got it. And
okay.
Yeah, and I went to the hospital because I never experienced this. My face was swelling up. I couldn't see out of my left eye. I couldn't barely fucking talk without it sounding like I had a dick in my mouth. So, I go to the ER and, I'm telling them what's going on. And they're like, yeah, we don't know what it is. I was like, what the fuck you mean you don't know what it is? Like, this bitch literally stuck a tongue depressor in my mouth. She thought it was my tooth. She thought it was an abscess in the tooth. So she takes this tongue depressor and jams it into my gums. And I'm saying she jammed it. Like, that shit was very hard. And it didn't hurt. I was like, I could have just touched the tooth for you. Because an abscess tooth, the tooth hurts and the tooth moves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know what it is. Just take a seat. So I took a seat. And I waited for about 2 hours. Oh, what are you in here for? My face is swollen. Can't you see? Oh. Well, we're going to give you some antibiotics. Okay. Do we know what it is? Nope. Like, okay. $1,700, or no, it was a $1,400 bill. Just to be told they don't fucking know. Like, yay. I go to the, what do they call them? Urgent care outside of my insurance, of course, because I paid for the ER with insurance. And yeah, I went to the urgent care and it was an $80 copay. No, sorry, $30 copay. And I think the bill's going to be like $300. And that doctor or nurse or whatever, legit just sat there with me for like 30 minutes just talking. She told me what it was, what it wasn't, what to do to avoid it. And it's just like, wow. Wow. So yeah, the first time was last year. The second time's this year. So sorry to go off on a bitching tangent.
You're good. We're going to need some background context. We're going to need some background context if you keel over before next session.
Right? If I die, just blame my girl. She's fucking Latina. It'll be believable. She did it for the insurance money. That's what we'll say.
No, man, I just got done dealing with a bunch of medical stuff, so I totally get it.
Oh yeah, you had the what's it called? The sciatica.
Yeah.
Yeah, how'd that turn out? They give you an MRI?
Well, they put me on steroids because they figured it was a nerve issue.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily there was no, irreversible damage. I was on a steroid treatment for a couple weeks and I just did my stretches, which the stretches that they have me do is like the dance that they do in the Single Ladies music video.
Yep.
It actually works really fucking good, but you can't help but feel like a Beyonce backup dancer when you do it.
Mm.
And after a couple weeks, I think I was out for almost exactly a month. And I went from debilitating pain and not being able to get out of bed to literally springing my step, ready to go back to work, killing it.
Shit. That's awesome.
But what's not awesome is, I applied for disability because I knew I was going to be out for a while. I applied for disability like the day that I got the first day I was off work. And I still have not gotten my checks for it.
Nope. That's going to take a while.
But, yeah, they tell you it's your money, but they really don't like to give it to you. But
nope.
I hope anybody out there that's listening isn't going through anything similar because it really sucks. And I'm fortunate enough to where I have people looking out for me to where, any bills or stuff that I have still gets paid. And I have a safety net to fall back on, but I know a lot of people don't. And yeah.
You're talking too much. Shut the fuck up.
No, I'm the safety net he's talking about.
Oh, I figured. Yeah, no, back injuries, dude. I got me one, and yeah, it's no fun. Good thing that it was just a nerve issue and not something pressing up against your nerve like a bulged disc or bone fragments poking into that motherfucker. Because yeah, that's no fun.
Yeah.
You don't need, you don't need the nerve damage where you're just like, wow, my leg feels cold.
I didn't mean to get,
by the way,
I didn't mean to get political or anything. But my point to say was that it's I'm glad to be back, and yeah,
yeah, for sure.
Anyone who's going through any medical stuff, I hope you get it figured out, and you feel better soon.
Yeah. And I was just kidding, Max. If anyone out there is going through something like that, do not be afraid to lean on your friends and family.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, most of America right now is one paycheck away from being homeless. Like, swallow your pride, ask for help if you need it. Because at the end of the day, I always tell people, like, hey, man, I might not be able to buy some shiny new things for a while, but at the end of the day, if it's just, it's just dyed paper, I'd rather give up every cent I have to make sure that, the people I love make it through.
Yeah. But anyway, any other topics anybody's got, or are we moving on to the next corner?
We're moving on to us taking a break so I could take a leak and have a smoke.
Sounds good.
And we'll be right back with the Midwestern Dad. Just have a commercial of just fucking that voice just telling you stuff that your dad should have said. You did real good today.
Want to do Rick and Morty interdimensional cable ads?
Oh fuck, that would be funny. That would be fucking hilarious. But all right, I'm gonna switch to the phone, so don't say nothing funny.
All right.
Now that our commercials have finished running, I don't even know if we're gonna have commercials, but let's assume that maybe we do. We're back at
you
it.
and me could record some B-roll for like Fallout product commercials, Fallout Universe product commercials. That'd be fun.
Does the pre-war seem too friendly? Well, take some psycho and spice things up. Are you getting tired of your wife telling you to stop playing your Pip-Boy, playing the Red Menace? Well,
no. I'm talking I'm talking like the actual products from before the war, like
saddle up,
enjoy a nice
State.
cold, refreshing Nuka-Cola. Now introducing Nuka-Cola Quantum.
It's got the like zip that you need. May contain radiation.
Okay, but a psycho ad would actually be funny. Just in the bathroom, you hear the voice lines from like Fallout 4 and TikTok, or you just hear like, "Yeah, fucking kill."
Does your wife ever talk too much? Take some buff out and give her a right hook. Did your wife burn tonight's roast? Take some buff out and make sure she has her mouth guard in place.
Ding ding.
I swear, the pigeons, they told me to beat the ass, and I'm gonna beat the ass.
As soon as I did that, I knew that we were gonna start talking about this. Do we talk about it, guys?
We already talked about it.
We talked about it. Not on the podcast.
Okay.
I mean, there's the conspiracy that it was rigged, and then there's people like me that wanted to hope that Tyson would come out and knock out Jake Paul's ass, but you realize real quick that he's a 60-year-old man, and the way he was moving was not not prime Tyson. So it's just one of those things that you realize fairly quickly who was going to win.
Yeah. The only thing that upsets me is I don't like that a lot of people are coming down on Tyson for it. Like, can you really get mad at a guy for Yeah. Like, dude, the guy is making gain from his own history and the hype that brings. He's not at fault for it. Jake Paul is a fucking disgrace for not being man enough to fucking actually have integrity with the sport that he claims to love, and is fighting people over twice his age.
Or people who aren't even boxers.
Dude, the thing is, anyone else with Jake Paul's record and skill level, like, he's not a bad boxer. He does have some natural talent and skill for it, but he is nowhere near being worthy of fighting Mike Tyson. His name is what got him there, not his ability as a boxer, and that's why it's illegitimate.
Well, he calls himself the money man.
Yeah. All I got to say is if, I can't say here nor there whether the fight was fixed or rigged or scripted or not. But if it comes out and it's proven that it is, there's going to be a lot of lawsuits because you could bet on that fight. And if it was staged, that's very illegal.
Yep. That's why you're not allowed to bet on professional wrestling.
You are now, actually.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
And I don't think it's going to last very long.
Well, I mean, it's predetermined.
There's some guy at a betting office, like there's some politician that genuinely believes WWE is real.
Well, the thing is, the outcome is predetermined, but it's
not supposed to be known by anybody.
Yeah, and I mean, leaks happen all the fucking time, but I mean, it's real enough. The wrestling is real enough that these guys are getting hit fairly stiff at times. But yeah, the ending is always predetermined, and unless there's an audible called, which that has happened too. But to be able to bet on that, I think that is a bit shitty, because at the end of the day, it is predetermined.
What I could see, like, that would be cool to, like, for betting on for professional wrestling, is if there's like an over under on like how many finishers are done, or is there going to be interference in the match, not who wins, because a lot of the times if you kind of know the business, you can just kind of predict what's going to happen for the most part, because it is kind of formulaic.
Yeah.
But if you can like bet on things that are going to happen in the match besides like the winner or loser outcome, that I think makes a lot more sense. As far as viability for avoiding foul play and stuff.
Well, and then you got if you can bet on boxing, and you can bet on exhibition fights.
Right.
What I mean, if it was scripted that Paul was gonna win and Tyson wasn't gonna knock him out or anything, it's one of those things where it's just like, all right, that's a bit shitty. And yeah, there should be a lawsuit for that, because I mean, there's no way that you could explain that it wasn't scripted, but I mean, maybe they go the professional wrestling way of things. It's, this was an exhibition and it was put on by, my company. It was sponsored by my company, and, all of the outcomes are predetermined. They always have been, blah, blah, blah. But then that would destroy the legitimacy of his company.
Yeah. I mean, gambling is just a weird thing. I mean, there are sites where you can bet money on, you could bet money on the election when it was happening.
Yep.
You could bet money on, there was like betting pools that were set up for the Game of Thrones final season, and like stuff that would happen in it. You know what I mean? Like, you can bet on pretty much anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you could bet on pretty much anything nowadays, because it's just like, that's just how it is. It shows you just how strong a gambling addiction is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think it's bad here in America. Have you heard about how bad the gambling problem is in Australia?
Oh, I heard it's fucking, they're trying to criminalize it. Or they already have criminalized it, but they're trying to make it like severe penalties.
No, dude, it's the opposite. There are fucking slot machines everywhere. Literally in service stations, in fucking restaurants, everywhere.
Jesus. Yeah, see, I heard they were trying to criminalize it though.
In some states of Australia, I think they are.
Okay.
But like Queensland and like the more heavily populated states of Australia, I think, are not outlawing it, because it's probably a lot of their GDP comes from
their
gambling.
revenue. Yeah. No, I'm not a big fan of gambling, because it's one of those things where I've gambled a little bit, and I tell you, it is very easy. The second you win, it is very easy to get sucked into it. Because I remember I won on a scratcher. I won $1,000, and ooh, shit, man! I tell you, I got excited. The first thing in my head was not to cash out and walk away. It was, ooh, you should let this ride.
Yeah.
Never works.
Never work. And I know it never works. And I was just like, ooh, I don't like that feeling. So I took the money and left.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, the
That's the
mentality
problem.
I've always had with gambling is like, I used to, with like my ex, one of our things we would do is we would take $40 and go to the casino near her house, and we would get a couple drinks, and then we would just put the $40 in a slot machine. We'd sit together and chat while we played the penny slots, and we would just spend that $40. And when we were out, we just left. We didn't spend any more money. But I know that's hard for a lot of people, and like we had it set up to where it wasn't the main focus of what we were doing. We were using the casino as like an excuse to hang out and do something, get out of the house, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
But most people that go there, you know, obviously they're not
Yeah.
going for that. They're going because they want to win all this money or
Yeah.
whatever.
well, like the
general
older
rule, I think,
generation.
is yeah, they're very addicted to it.
Yeah. I've seen
Have
them.
you seen those videos of those senior citizens just
Yep.
like all staring, just like dead faced at the fucking screen of the roulette
Yep.
or the slot machine? They're just pressing the button.
Yeah, they're not even there to have fun. They're there just to. I mean, at that point, are you even there to win money?
To
'Cause-
reheat their dopamine
You're there
receptors.
because you're addicted to it.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Like, I mean, it's just like, God damn.
I think-
and they blow their pensions or their retirement or their social security checks just sitting there hitting a button.
Mhm.
They're not even
It's
listening
sad,
to the
man.
fucking sounds. They're just hitting, skipping, hitting, skipping, hitting, skipping. And it's just like, Jesus Christ. That ain't no fun at all. You're just pushing a button. You're just a slave at this point.
I
But-
think that a general good rule of thumb is that you should not gamble if you are in any sort of debt.
Oh man, get the Bruno Mars effect. Fuck. That kid fucked himself over. He's not even a kid now. He's like, what, 40s?
He's like late 30s, early 40s, I think. Yeah.
Jesus. He looks it now.
Does he? I haven't seen him recently.
I've seen a recent picture of him, and yeah,
I'm pretty sure he probably had some work done when he was younger, and in your 40s is when that starts to move around.
Yeah, that's it doesn't.
Oh, he's 39.
Ooh.
He doesn't look, well, from what I've seen, doesn't look that bad. I mean, he's got some pretty deep cheek dimples now.
He looks gaunt.
Oh, okay. I see one picture that he looks kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like how Graft sounds. But no, I tell you, man, that gambling addiction's bad because it doesn't even kill you. It just financially cripples you.
It just destroys it crushes your soul.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, at least with alcoholism, it'll end one day. Drug addiction, same thing. It'll end one day. But gambling, holy fuck.
Now, the one thing I will say about like drugs and stuff and vices, because with this point of conversation started about Australia. If you live in a country where every living thing is trying to kill you, I feel like it's pretty much free reign. Like, hey, get high if you want. You're probably not going to live long anyway.
Yeah,
like Australia should be the experiment to just decriminalize everything and let people just do whatever they want with their vices and see what happens, because how much worse can it really be?
Yeah, no, I tell you, Australia is a rough place to live from what I've heard. Because everything.
Australia is the Florida of the entire earth.
Yeah, because I mean everything there is trying to kill them, and to be completely fair, I mean if you want to, ride the horse, the brown horse, go for it, because I mean you could step outside one day and a baby-sized fucking tarantula just attack your face and eat it off. So I mean, I get that. Do that black tar heroin.
The opportunity to see like an Australian strung out tweaker fighting like a wallaby, like a pack of wallabies, is just the funniest image in my mind. I don't know what. I didn't want to just say spiders. Like it's too
dingoes.
stereotypical.
Oh yeah, wallabies
dingoes,
and dingoes aren't stereotypical.
Punching wild
Dingo
dogs
ate my baby.
strung out on meth.
Right, strung
It's
out
like,
on
get
meth.
away from me, cunts.
Yeah, see him fighting a fucking stingray. You killed our fucking national treasure, you bastard.
This one's for me boy Steve.
Takes the stinger straight to the chest, just rips it out like a fucking Chad. That did fucking hurt.
Australians on bath salts would be fucking insane.
Dude, the fact that bath salts was an actual fucking thing, man. They got videos of that shit. These motherfuckers, the zombie apocalypse is among us. You see these people freaking the fuck out, running down the street, chasing somebody, tackling them just to eat their face off. Oh my God. That was some wild shit, because we would see that shit in school. You know, I was a senior, and they would show you on the phone, like, oh, dude, check this out. Zombies are real. You know, and you're a dumbass kid. Oh my God, the zombie apocalypse is happening. Oh, dude, it's fucking wild. Or what was that other shit? There was a rapper named after it. Flocka? Was it Flocka?
Oh yeah,
Flocka. Yeah, that shit. Wow. And then for a while there, kids were sniffing their own shit because it'd get you high. And it's like, no, it would just, jankum
jars.
Yeah, lack oxygen. Jesus. Like, grow the fuck up, spray some paint in a sock, and then huff it, you know? Jesus Christ.
What was the other one? It was like computer duster that kids would get high off of.
Oh yeah. It was they would inhale it, they'd put it in their mouth and then just suck it in.
Yeah, dust off and it. Yeah. Is that the one that would make your fucking deep?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It had like hexafluoride in it or whatever.
Really took off, I remember.
Yeah, and then they had to start putting a bitter in there if you to deter people from inhaling it. So if you ever use dust off for what it's intended for, you're gonna get a nasty taste in your mouth, and you're gonna wonder why that is. And you can thank these dumbasses for that, because if you use it like it's intended, and you do gentle half-second sprays to clean your keyboard, you're gonna get a nasty fucking taste in your mouth that will not go away.
What was like the other things that like kids would just like? Kids making drugs out of not drugged things. I forget. There was another one that was really popular for a while.
We had a friend in middle school who would just sniff anything. One time he crushed up like a rail of pink Himalayan salt and just fucking blasted it up his nose. And he was bleeding like crazy out of his nose because, Himalayan salt is very coarse.
Oh, you think that's bad? Fucking, you guys have heard the story about Ozzy Osbourne, and I forget the other guy. I think it was from some other rock group. I can't think of it right now. They were basically snorting lines of whatever, and I think it was they snorted a line of piss, and then it was a line of fucking fire ants or some shit. And we had heard about this story because it was a cool fucking story at the time. Well, one kid thought that he was gonna go further than that, and he was going to do all that shit. So he at lunch, he would, he snorted a fucking dead bee once. That was interesting.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was interesting because he had to go to the hospital for that. Pixie sticks, you get the little pixie sticks, he snort them. It's like, oh, look, I'm doing cocaine.
I did the Fun Dip shit once.
Yeah.
That one sucked.
Yeah, I never did that shit because it's just like, what's the fucking point?
Max, what about the when we were at the Korean steakhouse and you did the green tea salt?
Oh yeah, I snorted a line of green tea salt just for the fuck of it. I remember I made a whole bit out of it too. It was like one of those Korean steakhouses where you cook your food at the table. It's got the stove in the middle of the table, and we were ready to get our check. So the person went to get our check, and Slacker was just like, "Hey, I'll pay you $20 to snort a line of green tea salt," and I was like, "Oh hell yeah!" and I made a whole bit out of it. So like I pulled out my credit card and I poured it on the table. I started chopping it up and I rolled a dollar bill up. And as I'm
Jesus.
leaning down to like snort it off the table, I just feel his presence next to me. I look up and it's the waitress handing me the check, and I just go, "Hi." And I think she
Damn.
thought like I was doing actual drugs or something. She just handed she handed the bill and just walked off super fast.
Oh
I was
yeah,
like, okay, well, we should probably go.
yeah, because yeah, them cops will get called.
Yeah.
Yeah, and good,
I remember what
good
the other
luck
one was that
proving you
kids were
didn't
doing.
do it.
Do you remember the gas like 7-Eleven salvia? Like they were just selling it in gas stations.
Oh yeah,
yep.
yeah. That shit's fucking whack.
And like kids were fucking like jumping out of windows and shit.
Yeah, I did it once with a group of friends, and fucking they're over here hallucinating that they're throwing fireballs, and I'm working on my third fucking vial trying to get that, get that fun time that they're having. Never happened. Fucking sucked. Waste of fucking
really?
$80. Yeah,
Some
waste
people
of
it
fucking
just
$80.
doesn't affect that way.
Yeah, I was pissed because they're over here like, oh man, dude, I see the fireball in your hand. Oh my God, throw it to me. And they're throwing it. And I'm like, dude, I want to have this kind of fun. So I'm burning through the vials that we bought and nothing. I was so fucking pissed. I was like, damn, the one time I decide to do something stupid, yeah, nothing happens. I was like, fuck this shit. Waste of
I
fucking
feel
money.
like I don't feel like I do anything too crazy. I feel like I personally might benefit mentally from trying mushrooms, but
So
I don't think I really ever do anything else.
I don't do anything crazy. I just fucking butt chug fucking acid from a gallon jug. Nothing too wild.
You've heard of microdosing. I macrodose.
Oh
I
fuck.
just inject meth into my neck. No big deal.
He's like, you see this vein in the scrotum of my ball sack? Like, yeah. Watch this. Just straight up needles a fucking ounce of hard meth into it.
Yeah,
just boofing crystals. Like,
yeah,
Boofing. That's the word I wanted to use. But I couldn't think of it. So I said butt chug.
suitcasing.
Yeah.
suitcasing.
Meat walleting.
That's disgusting.
Prison
Well,
pocket.
I'm pretty sure at one point this was a D&D podcast.
At one point,
Stop
yeah.
immediately.
One point. But then you had to say that you don't know the feeling of sticking your hand into a jar of dice, and I knew that this is where it was going to go.
This is what happens when you get me and my brother in a fucking conversation together. It just
Yeah.
turns into this.
Oh, you think that's bad? Wait till we get Aurelius or Richie on this thing. Oh, Jesus.
Oh God.
Yeah, this podcast is never getting monetized, no matter how successful it gets. If you get either of them,
Oh no way. Absolutely not.
That's perfectly fine. Doesn't bug me.
Oh
none.
my god.
I mean, it'd be cool if we did get monetized, I tell you. But at the same point,
Every
and in the
episode
same
would be
point,
sponsored by like BATR.
right? Just get some help.
You all need mental help. Like,
Shit.
I mean, hey, that's clever. That's smart marketing. You're marketing to the people that definitely need it if they're people that watch our videos.
Very true.
fair.
But yeah, no, I mean, if we ended up getting monetized, that'd be cool, but I'm not, counting on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath on it for sure.
Because, I mean,
Yeah.
let's be honest. I'm very not much a, advertiser friendly person. Because if I don't use your product, I'm not going to pretend that I use your fucking product. I'm not going to sit here and try to sell a piece of shit product to somebody and go, oh my God, like Raid Shadow Legends. Never will fucking sponsor us.
If we ever advertise Raid Shadow Legends on this channel, I'm finding a way to nuke the entire channel and then I'm killing myself.
But like,
that's like the benchmark of being a successful YouTube channel, though, is at some point you'll be sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, because they'll sponsor anybody.
Well,
Yeah, for real.
And that made me wonder at one point, like, about their shit. So I played it once. I hated it. And me personally, I can't I can't stick my name to something that I wouldn't use. Just like the what is it called? Those ball shavers, what do they call them?
Oh, Manscaped.
Manscaped, yeah. I've never used a Manscaped product, so I couldn't be able to sit there and tell you like, "Oh my god, this is such a good product." Me personally, most I'll use is sheep shears. I've used those, and let me tell you, fucking amazing. You get
it's essentially the same thing. It's just a pair of clippers.
Yeah, except it's made for far coarser hair, and you will get your nutsack pinched several times, and you'll start bleeding and wondering why. But then you'll realize, look how smooth my nuts are.
My now non-existent nuts. Look how smooth they are.
Exactly.
I use sheep shears to shave my nuts. Weird flex, but okay, boss.
Hey, that's all I had at the time. Of course, when I got the better job, I bought nicer clippers. But
I'm gonna stick with the idea that you used them because it was the only tool that was able to do the job. That's a way funnier canon in my head.
I have wool on my balls.
No, he's got
wool around his.
Instead of nut hair, he just like zero gauge wire grows out of his ball sack.
Hey yo, I need to plug my sub in. Can I get some?
Oh shit! But yeah, no.
BBC
and Manscaped, they deal with a lot of people. And, these, this is such a great product. But how do you know that the person that's advertising this product actually used it? I don't see any proof. Right. I need to see proof. And I need to see if there was some nicking. Oh, well, look at me stick it to this balloon. Okay, congratulations. A balloon does not have the same surface as a ball sack. We all know this. If your balls look like an inflated balloon, please seek help. Seek some fucking help, because your balls aren't supposed to look like that. They're supposed to have some wrinkle to them. God damn it! But it's so gentle. Oh my god! Fuck you! I've seen people stick needles into balloons without popping them. Fuck you! I still won't let the doctor stick a needle in my nutsack.
Then we'll talk.
Yeah. Show me the nuts. I want to see if they're scabbing or scarring. I need to know.
Okay, well, now that we've driven away like 90% of few viewers we have.
I tell you this. I got a feeling that some of our viewers may not be into this kind of thing, but at the same time, it's like a car accident. You just kind of have to sit there and watch. Yeah, I mean, we got 97 subscribers, so I'm pretty.
That's nothing to sneeze at. What should we do for 100?
97 BATRs. Let's go.
Me and the original guys, what we were planning on doing was meeting up in Vegas, trying to get that going and see how that worked out. Of course, we thought that was going to happen a lot sooner, but it's taken us a couple years to get here, which is fine because we're doing it our way. We're not doing it like, these, hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy. Nothing like that. We're just being ourselves. So I don't know. We might meet up in because we've never seen each other in person. So we might actually meet up in Vegas.
I'm still trying to guess what you're going to look like.
Well, you apparently think I'm going to look like Meat Canyon. So that's a fucking
this dude
thing.
Looks like he can control fire.
This guy looks like he could boof a fucking 8 ball of cocaine. 8 ball of meth. Right in his ass.
I've been watching Breaking Bad recently, so that's why I immediately brought up meth like 3 times when we were talking about drugs.
Yeah, it's not that you have a meth addiction. No, it's because you're watching Breaking Bad.
If he does, he's the most unsuccessful meth head ever. He's fat as shit. That's pot calling kettle black, though.
What's the saying? I don't like cocaine. I just like the way it smells.
Right?
Is that what they say? I don't think you're going to have to tell us.
I told that to a cop once. I had this cop dying because I was working graveyard at a gas station, and the cops will show up, and they'll show up getting coffee and whatnot. And I'm gonna be honest, when you're working late at night, it sucks, especially because you know that the calls that you're gonna get aren't gonna be the best. So I always tried to make them laugh, and I'd always tell them like, "Oh, hey, I got some cocaine cookies to keep you up if that coffee don't work." And it was a roll of Oreos. And I mean, we had a good time laughing about that. And the guy was just like, "Oh, he was just like, oh, I don't know. You seem like more of a weed guy, a weed guy to me." I was like, no, weed makes you lazy. Fucking meth gets shit done. And he started laughing. He goes, "So these are cocaine cookies?" I was like, "Yeah, but I don't do cocaine. I just like the way that it smells." And he fucking lost it. He was dying. He goes, "God, I gotta come here more often." I was like, "Please, we like your business." And I mean, the cops would come in. They started coming in, 2, 3, 4 at a time. And we would just laugh. Some of them were, particular about the shit that they would laugh at because they're on camera. And, the one guy, this guy was a cool motherfucker. And he would always, if you said some funny shit, he would say, "That's funny." He would never laugh. He would say, "That's funny." And
it almost feels condescending.
Exactly. And I asked him one time, I was like, "You come in here, I say some funny shit, and you just tell me that's funny, and you come off as a prick." And he was in civilian clothes. He goes, "Oh," he started chuckling. He goes, "I can't laugh on camera." He goes, "Because if I laugh and they catch me on camera laughing at something you say, that would give the perception that I'm of the same mind." I was like, "Oh, really?" He goes, "Yeah, that's why you'll never hear me cuss on, in uniform." He goes, "I cuss like a fucking sailor, but in uniform I can't because it gives the perception that, I have a filthy mouth and can't use words of a peace officer." I was like, "Jesus Christ." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "You ever been kicked in the balls and tried not to cuss?" I was like, "No." He goes, "I got kicked in the nuts once by this lady and I said, 'fuck.' And it was on camera." He says, my supervisor was mad that I said 'fuck.' Not the fact that I got kicked in the fucking dick, but that I said 'fuck.' Like, how dare I say a filthy word after getting kicked in the balls?
Hey, I mean, I gotta respect his respect for the office that he keeps.
Yeah, I'd be picking my fucking battles, I tell you that much, because I'm not gonna harp on somebody. If you get kicked in the balls, getting kicked in the balls fucking sucks. And if you cuss, you cuss. It's whatever. Like, pick your fucking battles. Like, you're gonna hamstring an officer because, oh, they said a naughty word. Fuck you. Hopefully that supervisor never found themselves out in the field in need of help. Because I tell you, "Oh, I need some backup." "Oh, dude, we're all busy." Oops. Be sure not to cuss when you get shot.
Yeah, "I'm really fucking sorry, officer. We can't help you."
Yeah. Like,
I had this
fucking
one
wild.
officer that pulled me over once, and I had never seen him before. And like, we don't live in a super small town, but it's small enough to where I know like all the cops that patrol, right? So I got pulled over. I was like speeding. I was doing like 15 over, which is like super fucking. I mean, you live out here, in California, like the speed limit is what everybody else is going. It doesn't matter what the sign says.
Yeah.
But so I was keeping on slow traffic, but he just pulled me over and I was like, okay, so I pull over, and it was a guy I had never seen before, and it was a black officer, and I only say that because of the joke that I made. He thought was funny, so I always try to make cops laugh because I've always just kind of known if you make them laugh, you're probably not getting a ticket. So he comes up to my car and he's looking me up and down, and he goes, "Have I pulled you over before?" And I look at him and I go, "No, we don't all look the same. I'm white."
Oh, shit.
He thought it was the funniest shit ever. He's like, "Man, I was having a shitty day. You just made my day. You made me laugh so hard." And he goes, "Keep this thing like within like 8 miles an hour of the speed limit, and we won't have a problem again." He's like, but if I pull you over again, you better have something even funnier. Otherwise, you're getting a ticket.
Jesus.
So I already got my next one locked and loaded.
Fucking hell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna say, you know why I pulled you over? And I'm gonna go, because I'm black.
Right? No, fucking. I tell you, walking up to a stranger's car has to be the most fucking unnerving.
Shit.
Yeah. Because it's just like no one likes being pulled over, and either one of two things is gonna happen. Either they're gonna get very mad or they're gonna start crying, and you know, there's always that other option where people just get violent. You know, so you got that shit running through your mind, and it could be the most peaceful fucking traffic stop. And, you know, I always like making the cops laugh because at the end of the day, you don't know what they're going through. And I've had cops come into the gas station who were just fucking assholes. I mean, absolutely dog shit fucking assholes. And, you know, you ask them one simple fucking question. Can I see your fucking ID? Oh, now they got a fucking problem. And it's just like, dude, you're using a credit card and it says check ID. Like, don't be a fucking dick.
Yeah.
Like, sorry that you chose to have this happen to you. Not my fucking problem. You know, you chose to have that shit there. It says check ID. So now you're having me check your fucking ID. Like, fuck that. They were few and far in between, but goddamn, were they would just. I'm gonna be honest. We were supposed to give them free coffee, but sorry, if you're gonna be a prick to me, I'm charging you for that fucking coffee. Oh, normally it's free. Nah, not today. They caught on though. They fucking caught on. Because it's just like, I'd much rather give you a free cup of coffee if you're just gonna be cool. Just be cool. Like, I got a job to do, you got a job to do. Don't be a prick. If you're gonna be a prick, guess what? Your coffee ain't free. You can kiss my fucking ass.
Yeah.
I don't care what you go through. I understand what you go through, but don't be a fucking prick to me. That's simple. Yeah. And if you were a really hot woman, I used to give you free sodas too. So there was that too.
Can't do that anymore because you're a taken man. Somehow your wife will find out.
No, she already knew.
Your girlfriend will find out.
She already knew. I told her about that shit. How I used to get all kinds of action at the fucking gas station. I don't work there no more though. Fucking got injured at the job and got fired, quote unquote. So that was fun. But yeah, one of my most favorite jobs was that gas station. But we're not here to talk about gas stations. We're here to talk about, for the next 15 minutes, about, what are we talking about? What's the next corner?
Oh, you're right. So Max, Bas and I do this thing where we will tell stories from our life based on, like, you know, stats or skills that you see in D&D. Like, I think the first episode we did like animal handling and survival.
Yeah, he told me about how he jacked off a goat.
No, I told him about how I broke that snake's head off. How I like snapped it like a whip and its head flew off.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe this week, deception. You could tell a story about either, you know, when a lie went really well and it did exactly what you needed to do, or you got caught in a lie. But I just want to hear some interesting stories from you guys about times when you tried to use deception.
He wants to see how good at lying we are. That's what this shit is. Yeah. I plead the fucking fifth.
Let's see.
Because I'll be honest, I kind of need this to rely on you guys because I can't. Nothing comes to mind for me personally.
I'm just so honest. I never lie. I'm a good person.
That's exactly where my mind went. Like, yeah, I brought this one up because, yeah, I was going to rely on you guys to tell me when you lied because I don't lie. I'm a good boy, as he proceeds to
I didn't say that. I did not say that. I said I don't have any that I could tell that come to mind.
Yeah, somebody might be listening that knows.
Yeah.
Well, if you must know Abe Lincoln,
that was George Washington, wasn't it?
I don't know.
It was, but we'll go with Abe Lincoln.
I don't know. I guess I've lied to cops a lot.
What was your full government name again?
What's the statute of limitations on lying to cops?
Oh, shit, I don't even know. I don't think it's illegal.
Oh, here's a good one. I don't know if anyone else does this. When I'm like around a bunch of strangers that I will never see again in my life, I will just make up complete lies about my life and just run with them.
Oh, just make yourself seem more interesting?
Just to see if I can get away with it. Like, just to see, like, even though I know they don't know who I am, it's not like they're going to question it. But it's like, okay, for example, like, last time when I went to the hospital for my meds for what my situation I was going through, I was in the elevator and it was taking like super long to go through the floors. I don't know why, but I was in there with this one other guy, and he goes, "A nice day we're having, huh?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, the weather's nice." And I go, "All right, I'm gonna lie now." Oh yeah, I might take the wife and kids out for a picnic or something later today. I don't have a wife. I don't have kids.
Jesus.
The delivery of I don't have a wife. I don't have kids.
And I was like, yeah, I was thinking maybe we'll just take the boat out to the Delta and I'll teach the kids how to cast a line.
He's like, I don't have a boat and I don't live near the fucking Delta.
Yeah. I haven't fished in 10 years.
Oh, shit.
Just little shit like that. And I change it like a little bit every time, or I'll just come up with a random thing every time. My favorite is like,
how have I never known that you've done this?
Because I'm not going to do it when you're with me, because your ass would be like, you don't have a fucking wife, asshole.
Jesus.
I cannot tell a lie.
My name is Abraham Joseph
or you
Washington.
wouldn't realize what was going on, even if you were like down to go with it, and you would just, out of reflex and not knowing what was going on, you would just completely ruin the bit.
Jesus.
I hope you don't do that to women you're trying to get with, because that's going to be real awkward if you end up taking one of them home. And
No,
you're going to talk shit and be like,
but my best so Slacker knows my best friend, he's like a total prankster goofball, and he I used to be like super introverted, so like I had never like gone out to a bar before or whatever, or, like
I know exactly where the story is going.
And he goes, "Oh man, we're gonna get you out. We're gonna get you like meet some people. I'm gonna be like your guide to not being a wallflower anymore." So we started going out to this bar that's like his favorite bar, his regular bar. It's like now it's my favorite bar too. And first couple times I was there, he would go around and he would just tell random women about how I rescued him from life-threatening accidents.
Oh, yeah.
And all of them obviously were made up because none of that's ever happened. Like, he told this one woman that I saved him from a fucking apartment fire in New York, and now we're best friends, and we moved out here to California to like try to make it big in the entertainment industry.
Damn.
And he would just say random shit like that, or like how we were like,
now, real question is, did it work?
how we like almost got kidnapped by the cartel.
Oh, fuck.
And like I saved him by like being a wheelman and driving away. Just like the most insane shit.
But did
I don't
it
know
work?
Dude, the thing is, he's so good at making up stories. Like half the time, people believed him.
Did you get laid?
And it wasn't always like super outlandish stories like that. Sometimes it was like, oh, like he saved my dog from getting hit by a car, or like, you know, my grandpa like flatlined and he gave him CPR and brought him back to life.
Jesus Christ. What the
But
fuck?
like, he's such a shice master. Like I swear this dude can make people believe anything. I don't know how he did it.
It's
And I
very
think that's
easy.
where my fascination I think that's where my fascination started, with just making up lies and telling strangers. Because he made me realize, like, hey, in my life, these people are NPCs. What they think, whether they think it's true or not, has literally no effect on my life. I might as well have some fun.
So the reason his shit worked so good is because he believed it. In that moment, he believed it. That's what made it believable.
Literally, like, if I didn't know any better, I would say, yeah, he believed it.
Yeah, in that moment, he believed it. That's how the best liars aren't liars. That's what makes them the best liars, because once you catch them in a lie, obviously they're a liar. But when they tell you a lie, it's not a lie to them. They believe it. They believe it to be true.
I mean, we did have another friend when we were younger that was such. We did have a friend when we were younger who had such a habit of just like compulsively lying, and like he would not even try to make them believable. Like, he said that one time when he was in 6th grade, him and his friends flipped over his principal's car and somehow didn't get a single scratch on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he expected us to believe that.
Yeah, compulsive liars are, I feel bad for those people, because it's just like they can't help it. You know, they can't help but lie. And it's like at some point, it's not even lying to be malicious. It's just a lying to make themselves seem more interesting than they actually are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's the shitty part, is it's just like, how many people have you surrounded yourself with that just don't find you fucking interesting or fascinating, that you have to lie so that people find you this way? And they're not even that good at it. They can't even remember their own fucking lies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this guy was at least consistent, because he would tell the same lie every time.
Like, I'll give him this. No matter how many times people called him out on his bullshit, he stuck to his guns.
Well, I mean, got to give credit where credit's due on that one. Most of the compulsive liars I know, they can't even remember the story they told you yesterday. Because it always changes with whoever they're talking to, depending on, you know, oh, should I make it seem more wild than this? And if your reaction is, you know, depends on your reaction too. Because if your reaction is not what they're expecting, oh yeah, they'll change shit up. And then they start forgetting what the original lie was.
Yeah. How about you, Bas? Any stories you
have I ever lied to anybody? I've lied to plenty of people. I have.
Have you ever lied in an Uber?
I have never taken an Uber.
Fair enough.
Yeah. No, I've lied to people. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I haven't, slacker. But you know,
once again, that's not what I said.
But I mean, nothing. The lies that I've told are just simplistic little lies. They've never hurt anybody. They've never were aimed to hurt anyone. Never to get me an advantage over anybody. Yeah, it's just stupid little lies that I really can't remember which ones stick out the most. I think I've lied on like school tests. I've lied on those. Like, you know, where
what, you mean like cheating?
No. Like how come you
mean
didn't
gotten an answer wrong?
No. Like, how come you didn't take this test? I'll make up a lie on that one.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Gotcha.
You know, fucking just make up stupid shit.
Well, I think we can all agree. Everybody's called in sick to work and said they were sick when they were literally out like drinking with their friends.
I actually have not done that. And the reason I haven't done that one is because my biggest fear is actually getting caught. because if I get caught on
fair.
that, because my thing is I'm a huge believer in trust. If I have your trust, I'm not going to try to fuck that over, because once you break that trust, attempting to get that trust back is a bitch. It is a bitch and a half, and you'll never have the same level of trust. So yeah, I've never done that because there's more fear stopping me than anything.
That makes sense.
Let's see. Never lied to get in a girl's pants. Never had to do that.
No, I haven't either.
That shit's shitty. You got to do that shit. You're just a piece of shit. Slacker.
Yeah. You're funny. You're real funny, Boz.
You know, my dick is 10 inches from the ground when I lay on my belly. Give that one a second to steep.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know what? I do have one.
Wow.
So,
had to really dig this one up.
If I have to think of something.
This is literally a nothing burger of a lie, but me and Max used to go to this community college by our house because our grades weren't good enough to go to normal college, and we're poor, so we couldn't afford normal college anyway. But
are you going to tell me you're going to commit fraud? Is that what you're about to say? Is that the lie? Is George Washington about to admit to fucking fraud?
He lied on his FAFSA?
No. What I did was I had my student ID even after Max and I dropped out. And I remember I always loved going to the cafeteria for lunch at the community college because they had this tortilla soup every week that was fucking amazing. And with our student discount thing, we could get a lunch for free once a week. So even after we no longer went to that college, I would just show my student ID from a year ago and just get a free cup of tortilla soup.
Jesus.
And I did that for 3 years. So yeah. I mean, I told you it's a nothing burger. It's nothing insane, but
wow.
I got free tortilla soup that was fucking delicious for 3 years.
He gets a letter in the mail from the local community college seeking to sue him for the fucking financial burden that he put on the school.
It had to be
yeah, boss, can you believe that you let this guy join your D&D group with some heinous shit like that in his past?
To be completely honest, I think he lied about everything. I don't know who this motherfucker is.
Yeah, my name is actually Travis White. I'm from Ohio.
Oh, fuck. Ohio.
Well, now I see why you lied.
You don't really have a twin. It's just you playing fucking overtime with yourself, going from room to room.
Exactly.
He's like, I like to be an edgy character, but when I'm Max, I like to be even edgier. That's the difference.
I like to be edgy Reggie.
Edgy Reggie. I like to be Batman. I'm gonna brood. Oh shit.
I fucking hate you motherfuckers.
You brought the topic up though. I mean, I purposefully avoided the deception one because it's one of those things. It's one of those things that no matter what, you look terrible.
Thank God we didn't get Aurelius in here or something. I feel like he'd have some crazy dark past with that shit.
Oh no, getting a Aurelius or Richie, they would have a deception one for you for damn sure. Me, I ain't got much, just a bunch of nothings. And fucking apparently George Washington over here, I used a student ID from a few years back to get some tortillas
so that I could afford lunch.
That's after us harping on him. Oh yeah,
I know. That's so funny.
Last time I tell you motherfuckers anything.
He's like, you know what? I did lie to a bitch to get into her pants.
I used to do that too. He's the one that showed me that little trick to get cheap tortilla soup.
Oh, I believe
I'm convinced a lot of people did that because, I mean,
dude, yeah.
it was all run by the culinary students. They didn't care. It wasn't coming out of their paycheck or anything.
Yeah.
You know.
They
So
all scream at each other and call each other chef.
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
I mean,
chef!
I know they all use slurs.
I bet they do.
Yeah, that's every kitchen ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great place to be, I tell you. Oh, Jesus. Well, I think it'd be a good point to wrap it up because I got to get ready to get to work here soon.
Oh yeah. Let me throw in my song recommendation for this podcast real quick. PTP by Black Joe Lewis and the Honey Bears.
Is that like a gay country group?
No, it's like I don't know.
Penis,
I really don't.
Penis
I guess
to penis
you
and the
consider
Honey Bears? I mean, I don't know.
Did it break up? Did it break up? Did you guys not hear what I actually said, or are you fucking with me?
You said penis to penis
roll
and
for
the Honey
deception.
Bears. Roll for
No, I
deception,
said-
please.
Yeah, PTP by Black Joe Lewis and the Honey Bears.
Okay. I've got
yeah.
a couple recommendations.
Okay. No,
So-
we do one. Don't hit them with a bunch all at once. That's how I ran out of fucking quotes to perform.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I need you guys to help me out. Which genre do I do? Do I do pop punk or rap?
Pop punk.
Okay. There's a band that I've discovered recently. Everything I've heard from them, I really like. It got me back into like the pop punk genre. The band is called Loveless. They blew up on TikTok, I'm pretty sure, is how they kind of got big. I find their music on Apple Music, but I'm sure you can find it on Spotify or YouTube or whatever. But the album, I'm pretty sure the album is just called Loveless. It's their first studio album, I'm pretty sure. So the band Loveless, and yeah, the album is called Loveless One. Any song off that album is great. If you like pop punk, it's a great modern day introduction into the genre. And it kind of if you liked the stuff from back in the day, like 5-10 years ago that was really popular, it still has that same kind of vibe, but a little more modern, and it's kind of its own style a little bit. And yeah, I really like it. It's a good band, and I feel they've kind of helped bring the genre back into prominence in the past couple of years.
Cool. All right. So I guess that'll do it for this episode of the Master B.A.T.R cast.
Hopefully you
I'm
guys
Slacker.
enjoy the new background that we're gonna have.
Oh yeah,
We got a
Yeah,
new
yeah.
background. If you can, go check out the links that are in the description. That way, you can see the type of work that's done. And yeah, he's been Slacker. I've been Bas, and our third wheel for this date has been
Max. It was great to great to be here, guys. I'm glad. Thank you guys for having me on. It was a lot of fun. I hope
Of
I can be
course.
back at some point.
for sure. Now get the fuck out of the call.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Oh, Jesus.